Greetings, everyone. This is Rock and Roll Spot Connection with Weekly Comic Roundup. We've covered, well, pretty much all of this week's books. Now it's time for the home stretch. Kicking things off, we've got Blue Beetle Graduation Day, number 5. Where we left off, Blue Beetle had helped Dynasty's escape and also helped get a piece of tech to a supervillain. So yeah, the Cords were not happy with him. So the other various members of the Justice League are dealing with the various Horizon Vanguard. Start with Shazam and Green Lantern. Jessica Cruz dealing with Natita. Flash is dealing with dynasties, and she kind of Hulk claps him away. Jamie's trying to get Ted to let him help, but Ted's kind of mad at him. But Starfire shows up and kind of says, "Hey, Jamie was tricked, you know it." But Jamie beetles up and heads out. Cyborg is prepping a neural neutralizer to use against the Horizon Vanguards. But Starfire and Blue Beetle show up, try to talk him down, but Beetle gets waylaid by Black Condor. The two of them duke it out a bit. Jessica Cruz is switched up to taking on Dynasties. Puts her in a uses her ring to make a cage, which Dynasties is easily able to get to punch through. Dynasties then goes after Shazam, and well, yeah, they appear to be on equal strength levels. But Justice League comms get jammed by by Ted. But Flash goes after Jamie, wrapping up, having taken the anchor chain from a cruise ship, explaining that boat must have what I believe it's 1 foot of anchor chain for every foot of length that the vessel is. Well, Flash grabbed the anchor chain from a cruise ship. Starfire manages to talk Cyborg down. Jamie is able to talk some sense into everyone, and but he ends up getting zapped by the neuroneutralizer, and has to confront his fears. It's not just his fears that what's been going on with the Scarab is that the Scarab is afraid too, and they kind of Kajida and Jamie re-solidify their bond, and a new armor form, the Legato armor, is activated. Batman and Superman show up and basically say, "Hey, you know what? Fine, we'll do this. Jamie, you take the lead on this one. We'll back you up." But as they do so, after this, however, the Horizon arrive. And that is where the issue ends, leading to our final issue next month. Moving on to our next book, we've got Stargirl, The Lost Children, number 5. Where we left off, the mysterious buyer of the time-lost sidekicks was revealed to be Hourman, Hourman 3, the android Hourman. But Stargirl and Corky Bastard managed to get the time-lost sidekicks who hadn't been captured by Childminder to, well, go after Childminder. It's not going well, though. Teamwork is not exactly their strong suit, necessarily. And eventually, Corky just kind of says, okay, you know what, screw this, I'm out of here. The various sidekicks get grabbed by the eggs. With only a handful are left. Salem is not entirely happy with things, and just kind of points out that she's the most powerful and blah blah blah, and well, a fight breaks out between Salem and some of the other sidekicks. But Stargirl stops it, brings everyone together. Meanwhile, Emiko convinces Judy to try vibrating through the wall. And she manages to do so. Saving, rescuing Emiko, and then rescuing the rest of those captured sidekicks. And they go after Childminder, Hourman, and the egg robots. And Stargirl and the rest of her sidekicks arrive as well. But Emiko is revealed to be one of the lost children as well, and who belongs with the Forgotten. The Hourman saying that he's the only one who can save them from complete obliteration. And that is where the issue ends. It's been a fun series so far. A little sad to see it end, but I'm curious to see how the ramifications it ends up having, especially on the current JSA title. Moving on, though, to our next book, we've got Unstoppable Doom Patrol, number 1. So, we kind of got a teaser for this series back during Lazarus Planet. The new chief is what is it? Crazy Annie, I believe. So anyways, we open with Monsieur Mala and the Brain. With the Brain now inhabiting a robot gorilla suit or body. Telling Mala to prepare himself because things are about to get weird. So Doom Patrol is driving into Gotham in a school bus. There's a metahuman on the loose, and so Negative Man sends the Negative Spirit to check it, to scope it out. But the metahuman makes himself very plainly known by knocking a whole bunch of security forces out of the windows of a building. In Mont Blanc, Switzerland, Monsieur Mala and the Brain are going to speak with General Immortus. Namely in an attempt to recruit him back into the Brotherhood of Evil. Immortus refuses, and, well, when Brain goes to attack him, Mala stops the Brain. The metahuman that in Gotham is a result of the Lazarus Reigns. But Chief uses one of her alters to get the information necessary. Apparently, metahuman in question was experimented upon by metagenics. Basically, weeks of painful processes created genetic offshoots that this company hoped to sell as biological weapons. But the subject and all the offshoots, well, they weren't happy. Negative Man tries to stop the metahuman, but it's as Larry puts it, when the negative spirit is sent back into him, metahuman is filled with so much negative energy that it forced the negative spirit back inside of Larry. The chief states that if Larry had seen what metagenics put the guy through, well, Larry'd be mad too, but Larry explains it's not just anger. It's mean. It's not a reaction, it's a choice. The only problem being the meaner he gets, the more he devolves, and soon he'll be as violent as his offshoots. So, but Batman and Robin show up. And the chief basically says, we're dealing with this, you're not. Don't care if this is Gotham. So Batman opts to help for the moment. Robin does point out that Chief's got a point. But Robot Man talks down Metahuman. But the guy says he'll join the Doom Patrol if it'll keep him out of jail, but being mean is how his powers work. Might make him a little dumber, but he's still smart enough to know that looking the way he looks currently is better than where he started. And so the metagenics refers to the subject as degenerate, so as a degenerate, so he said he's going to be just that. But the general opts to go with them, and the general that tried to pull one over on the Doom Patrol during Lazarus Planet has recruited help from Peacemaker. Team selected to infiltrate their base and learn all the secrets of the Doom Patrol. Maul and the Brain are duking it out in General Mortis' hideout, and seemingly Maul kills the Brain by stomping on, well, the Brain. And Mortis has plans. And that is where the issue ends. Alright, fun start to the series. I like the Doom Patrol. It's not just because of the HBO Max series, which sadly I haven't watched near enough of. I think I've only watched the first episode, honestly. But yeah, just it's a title it's a team I always dug. I especially enjoyed their appearances in pre-New 52 DC, mainly the Titans. You know, it was a fun little concept. I liked it. So, moving on though to our next book, we've got Dark Knights of Steel, number 10. where we left off, the truth was beginning to be revealed. Alfred was revealed to be a Green Martian. And most of the problems the realms seem to be facing appear to be caused, actually, by a white Martian. But Diana's about to kill Alfred when Bruce gets in her way. Beast Boy backs him up in the form of a dragon. Though Cal hands her the lasso of truth and says, "Hey, why not put Alfred in this and question him?" And Constantine makes a suggestion, but it's pointed out that his suggestions have led them to the point they're at, and well, Queen Anissa sticks up for him, basically saying that we've all been pawns in something greater, including Constantine. When her brother Jacob appears, leading Anissa to ask Constantine what he's done. It's decided that the three queens should convene and question Alfred. While Dinah's mourning the loss of Hippolyta, Kara comes to see her and refers to her as Your Majesty, but Kara's the one person that Dinah does not want to be called Your Majesty by, and the two embrace, allowing Diana to cry into the arms of her love. But so the three queens begin their questioning of Alfred, getting his name, John Jones, Martian Manhunter, obviously, when Harlequin shows up. And, well, turns out that the Queen of the Forest wishes to be involved in this as well. So John explains what happened. There were Green Martians and White Martians, and, well, there was a White Martian who managed to rile up the other White Martians against the Green Martians, enslaving them even. But the Green Martians eventually fought back. But the White Martians were a bit more brutal. The White Martians eventually found after the surface of Mars was destroyed, the White Martians found the Green Martians' hiding place, and damn near finished the job. But Jean came to Earth. Apparently the Waynes knew what he was, whereas they asked him to keep it secret. Dinah asks why, but the prophecy explained. But Ivy asks how many of the White Martians survived. It seems, but Jean suggests that fewer than 20 remain, though the leader, Protex, is one of them. Elsewhere, Lex Luthor is speaking to his green ring when it kills him and reveals itself to be Protex. And actually no, not revealing himself, but be hiding within the ring, and well, now Protex has the Green Lantern ring. And that is where the issue ends. And his followers have also arrived as well. This is definitely it. This is such a good series. Tom Taylor does amazing alternate universe work, I gotta say. Moving on, though, to our last book of the week, we've got Waller versus Wildstorm, Book 1. When I read the solicits, I figured this would be kind of fun, but I have to admit it surprised me because it seems like to be the closest that we'll probably ever see to, well, I guess the best way to put it, my vision of how the Wildstorm characters should be integrated into the DC universe. So, we begin in the final days of the Cold War on Gamora. Lois Lane is interviewing a leader of the freedom fighters, who are currently shooting at using pictures of the incoming leader of Gamora, Yumiko Gamora, for target practice. Back at her hotel, Lois calls her editor, and, well, Steve Lombard is like, yeah, you got the basic revolutionary boilerplate. Capitalism bad, regime bad, America bad. But there's another message for her as well. A note from one Jackson King. She meets King at the restaurant of the Gamora City Intercontinental Hotel. He wants to talk to her about Amanda Waller, who's the reason that his friend Hellstrike is dead. So the explanation is that a year previously in Afghanistan, Jackson King, also known as Battalion, arrived at a Checkmate Black site. Apparently Winter had there was a problem with Stormwatch member Winter. While making his accusations towards Winter, King is stopped by a Checkmate agent operative by the name of Amanda Waller. The black site in question is hers, and apparently she says she's a big fan of Jackson's. He was a black man that led a civil rights team squad. So Waller was inspired by him. But Jackson has a file folder of all backing everything he said. But the rest of Stormwatch shows up, and it seems in the picture almost looks like they're being mind controlled somehow. Adeline Kane, so. But because of the situation, King he becomes Inspector General. He's got enough friends in enough places where he could avoid prison, but for doing the right thing. We also see a bit of a mission, what appears to be Team 7 in El Salvador. Squad consisting of Grifter, Deathblow, Lynch, Dane, and Deathstroke. all seemingly happy to be doing Waller's dirty work. Finding metahumans in other countries and taking the basically taking them to train them in the use of their powers to help checkmate or further checkmate's interests. But one thing in the file is a young woman named Katrina Cupertino. She had cybernetics implanted, and they were forcibly removed by checkmate, with the cybernetics going to Miko Gamora. Cray and King find the lab in which the cybernetics were removed long after they had been. While nothing that Lois is entirely buying into what King's selling, but that he thinks it was a mistake to even talk to her, but he leaves the files with her. And as he leaves the restaurant, and when Lois says so, well, yeah, she pukes, realizes she kind of blew a story. However, Jackson's departure from the hotel is noted by Slade Wilson, who lets Waller know that Jackson King just left the hotel in Gamora. And that is where the first issue ends. So this is the closest I think we'll ever see to what like I said, my vision of how to merge the WildStorm characters into the DC universe. It's not exactly how this appears to be a world with no Superman, or really any of the DC heroes. You just got the civilians. And at least two of the villains. But the basic vision would be, combining with history, combining in the idea of Deathstroke working with Team 7, for example. That's definitely something that would have been that I would definitely go for. But yeah, I loved that. That was honestly probably my favorite book of the week. Like, I'm chomping at the bit already for issue 2. I can't wait to read the whole thing. But anyway, that's going to do it for now. As always, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. Links to my Facebook, Twitter, Patreon, and PayPal can be found in the description box down below. This is Rock and Roll Spock signing off saying, live long and rock hard.